Sampaguita High School was established in July of 1997. Its former name was Bagumbong High School, Sampaguita Annex, since it was then the extension of Bagumbong High School. It is located at 11 Paraiso Street, Sampaguita Subdivision, Camarin, Caloocan City. In the beginning, it housed only 163 students managed by 4 teachers, namely Miss Milagros Manalo, now Mrs. de Los Angeles, Mrs. Lily May C. de la Cruz, Miss Carmencita Servo, now Mrs. Puso, and Mr. Gerardo Bartolome. The principal then was Dr. Eustaquio G. Cagara. At that time, Sampaguita High School was just a 6-classroom building. Additional teachers came in 1998, led by Mrs. Leonora Soberano. They converted the grass patch to a vegetable garden, making the vacant lots productive. At that time, there was a dramatic increase in population from 163 students to 880. From February 1999 to 2004, Mrs. Sonia Perico served as officer in charge. Enrollment rose to 1,285 in 2003, and with it, the number of faculty from 4 teachers to 13. 6 classrooms were hardly enough to house so many students, so, raising funds through an event named Mr. and Miss Sampaguita High School, and with the assistance of PTCA officers, the administration was able to build additional 4 classrooms and a stage. In 2004, Mr. Tolentino Aquino, formerly the Education Supervisor 1 in English, became the new OIC of the school and worked hard for the construction of the covered court, which was funded by the local government under the administration of Mayor Reynaldo Malonzo. From July 2004 to May 2010, major transformations were seen under the leadership of Mr. Aquino, who became Principal 2 in 2010. Bulletin boards were made and organizational charts had been visible. The cleanliness of the campus and the classrooms was strictly monitored. Under the supervision of Dr. Feliciano, the teachers became used to demo teaching using the collaborative approach. They were kept up to date with the latest teaching strategies and innovations through in-service trainings, and many were able to participate in seminars and workshops. By the end of 2007, the teacher population increased from 13 to 38, and that of the students from 880 to 1,701. Since then, Sampaguita High School has been a top-performing school, earning division, regional, and national awards in different competitions. Also, in 2007, Sampaguita High School was granted its independence, resolved under Dr. Teresita Domalanta, DepEd NCR Director 4. This was also made possible through the help of Dr. Marisa Feliciano and the then school's division superintendent, Dr. Elizabeth Manalo. Upon Dr. Feliciano's retirement, the school had 45 teachers and 2,477 students. Over the years, Sampaguita High School's academic outlook changed with its leadership. Independence prompted the school to establish its mission and vision, and under the next principal, Dr. Joel Salvador, the school adopted a new set of rules in accordance with the new policies and guidelines Dr. Salvador set forth. Department heads further honed their leadership skills through their chairmanship and the different year levels. It was in 2014 when Miss Rebecca de la Cruz was then assigned to be the next school head. The new principal imposed a very striking example of determination to raise the students' performance level in the Sampaguitarians' national achievement, and saw to it that her directives as to the enhanced remediation classes in all learning areas were correctly implemented. Miss De La Cruz also saw the need to further empower the school's other leaders in her time, and so prioritized the construction of the new department head's room. Under her leadership, enrollment from 2,441 to 2,621, a notable milestone in the history of the school. Succeeding Miss De La Cruz in 2016 was Sir Bong Danug, who was something of an historic figure himself. Beloved by students, Sampaguita's publication also dubbed him the school's coolest principal. One notable directive he gave was the best dressed policy on Fridays, which allowed students to wear decent civilian dress every Friday. This boosted student morale and resulted in a notable decrease in the number of cases of Friday sickness. The rise in enrollment during his time was also notable, with the student body increasing from 2,621 to 2,849. After Sir Bong Danug, the arrival of our new principal, Dr. Luisito C. Orma, made a bang. As Sir Danug and Dr. Orma are close friends, the school community easily adapted to the new sets of rules being implemented by the latter. Dr. Orma eagerly supported every activity the school held. He resolved the issues and concerns regarding class schedules caused by the construction of a new building. He was also admired for his paperless policy, in which he posted his directives online and so urged his constituent learners and teachers to learn new skills relevant in the 21st century. His time saw a drastic increase in the number of students, 2,849 to 2,915. January 6, 2020 marked another chapter in the school's history with the appointment of the present principal, Dr. Ginalyn B. Dignos, who created two notable teams to deal with problems peculiar to her incumbency, the COVID-19 pandemic, and the necessity it creates for distance learning. These teams are the Council of Instructional Leaders, composed completely of master teachers trained in facilitating instruction, and the Technical Support Group for the enhancement of everyone's knowledge in online platforms in the context of blended learning. Her resiliency as a principal was tested with the coming of the COVID-19 pandemic, when President Rodrigo Duterte placed Luzon under enhanced community quarantine starting March 16, 2020. With movement restricted, the government ordered the closure of non-essential establishments, including schools all over the country. Dr. Dignos remained optimistic despite these changes and designed webinars and other activities to train teachers in online learning, equipping them both physically and mentally. Despite the pandemic, enrollment has once more increased, rising from 2,915 enrollees last school year to 3,015 as of July 15, 2020. With the increase in the number of students, Dr. Dignos remained the teachers and staff to follow the proper health protocols and guidelines. The pandemic did not stop the implementation of the school's learning continuity plan. As a frontliner in the educational system, Dr. Dignos, together with her department heads and teachers, continue to collaborate with her stakeholders in bringing needed services virtually.